So here's the challenge for today. We've got a couple of really big storms lately, and it half brought a tree down, and the tree's budding, and we feel sorry for it. So I'm gonna trim it up, do a pretty robust trim, and then fetch the big girl and strap her to it and see if I can stand the tree back up again and rebury the roots. Be quite the voyage of discovery if the tree survives. I think it will, so I'm going to try. A bit of a slope on the field, so I'm going to have to park down slope and boom up slope just to keep it a little safer. And I got to do it today because we got rain tonight and rain tomorrow, so I got to get it done while the ground is dry enough for the machine not to go sliding around everywhere. So let's see how far I can get with this. First step is position the machine properly and then get up the tree and trim, trim, trim. It's funny how sometimes you actually go to start a job and think your plans should change. I don't think I need to trim as much off it as I thought, so I'm gonna trim enough to make things easy. Pick it all up, stand the tree up. I think it's gonna work. There's a couple of rules that I apply that keeps me safe. We had a friend that died in a boom lift trimming trees, and there's sort of 2 or 3 very important things. One is stay above the weight that you're cutting off, right? So it goes down and away from you, but make sure it can't hit something on the way down or pivot against something and have the other end swing around and take you out of the cage. So it's a constant review of where is this branch going to go, what's it going to hit, where should I cut? And even if you have to cut 2 or 3 times where you'd rather just cut once, it's better to do that. I also, when there's some degree of risk, like where that branch was hooked up in that other tree, I cut it in 2 or 3 places halfway through to relieve the tension that might be in it. And in that case, there was. So I was going for the 3rd cut to relieve some tension as the rotten part gave way. And then I went around, of course, and just trimmed up the stump. So I'm going to go get the Mini, clean up the debris that's on the ground right now, and then do a little bit more trimming from this side, but I'm going to transition to the upslope. I don't like to boom out with the machine upslope, but there are some branches that are buried in the ground which may have a lot of weight on them on the opposite side of the tree. There's one this side that's holding it from rotating. I'm not going to go near that with the chainsaw. But I'm going to go take those upper boughs off from the high side in case the tree rotates, because there's a lot of weight up there and it would come down this way and squish everything. So a little bit of cleanup and then reposition on the other side of the tree. wind is really picking up, and we're supposed to get huge storms tonight. So I'm going to go put the boom lift back in the barn and come back and do a little bit more picking up, and then clean out the hole, maybe put the Mini away, and then tomorrow, if the weather is suitable, come down with the big girl and see if I can stand her up. Got a nice pile of hickory firewood. That's a shagbark hickory, very, very hard, very solid wood. So that firewood will do us good. And of course another pile of brush, like I need another pile of brush. The big red oak behind this one, of course, is stone dead. That's going to come down in the next storm. And a large cherry behind has come down in the same storm. So it is endless picking up of trees, but I can now mow this part of the field. So I am good with this. Even if I can't stand it up, I might just let it re-sprout where it is. It'd be quite a good climbing tree for little kids and critters. Oh, it's a pretty big stump. It's a pretty big tree. But I've made the hole a little bigger, biased it more towards this direction, because what I'm wanting to do is roll it into the hole and have the tree lean this way more than it did when it was before it blew down. I'm surprised, as I always am, how shallow these roots are. But I can get this to roll in. I'm pretty sure I can. And then use this soil, of course, to weigh down this side and then hope for some rain. And she'll be happy. She's been laying down for quite a while and the roots are rather dry. So I'm not 100% convinced, but 50% of the root ball is still in the ground. And we will see if I can get it to roll in. Quite interesting to think of the critters that have called this home for the last month or two. I bet in the storms we've had, there's been quite a few tucked in under here. Quite happy. I think I might take a scoop out of there, another couple of scoops out of that side. There's quite a large lump that needs to go down. And then I'm done. Then it's time for the strap and the big girl. Some people say to me that it's not about the job that I'm doing, it's about playing with the toys. I don't subscribe to that point of view. But what could go wrong? I wonder. I think quite a few things. But the big girl is here. She's been flexing her muscles. I am way better than 50-50 confident on this. I would even be bold to say 75% being able to get it stood up and weighed down. We've got a good windstorm coming tomorrow, so we will see. But let me get strapped up and see what I can do. That is not failure. That is the end of plan A. I now need plan B. I already know what it is. It's probably pretty obvious. I was hoping to not take too much off the top of the tree because there's too much cleanup to have to do. but I need to reduce the weight at the top of the tree substantially. The machine will pull 150,000 pounds. The strap is a 150,000 pound strap, and I was right at the limit, so don't want to do that anymore. I was getting it off the ground, I was getting its weight in my hands, but there's no way I could control it. And the biggest fear is that it overtops when I stand it up, and that's an awful lot of tree to come down on the excavator. So I'm going to whop it off a little further and then stand it up like it's nothing. I am a little anxious as to how I'm going to get my strap off that tree though, after it's stood up. That tree might just be called Strap Tree from now on for the rest of its life. But I will go on to 2 other jobs that I know I can do. And one of them is sitting right behind the machine. I want to cut up that cherry and take one of those nice big logs up to the house. That is a very successful transition from plan A to plan B. Others would call it abject failure, but I don't. This is just requires another approach, that's all. Well, I quickly moved on to something I can successfully do, which is pick up a disaster in the woods. I need logs, so I don't mind the odd tree blowing down on its own. There's a very big poplar that got squished. I need some poplar. There's a shag hickory that's gonna get broken when I drag the poplar out. But that oak was pretty big. It's probably 28 inch. It's just about the max that the sawmill can do. I've just picked up the second log. I've got 2 18-inch and 2 12-inch 10-foot logs left there. I think I'll put the strap on it and drag it out and start tidying up. So that last video may have given the impression that standing that tree up was something the big girl could not do. Tell you what, there is nothing the big girl can't do in the woods. I just have to have a good plan. Right now I'm sitting precariously under a great big widowmaker, one that could make a big noise if she hit the excavator. So I'm gonna cut that log up, get rid of those, and get away from that rather big load of debris that's up there. Wait for the next storm, that'll bring it down. And then I'm done for the day and out with the dozer to go do a little bit of something different. When one tree comes down in the woods, it's never on its own. And of course it annihilates an area, so the picking up takes a while. That hickory over there has been split right down the middle and it's still standing. It's kind of weird. Shows how straight-grained it would have been as a log. Would have been great. It's amazing that this poplar here, nice big healthy tree, whopped down by that even bigger and healthy oak up there. It's a great big eastern red. Falls directly between these two, takes 2 limbs off, hits a big healthy poplar, knocks it clean over, and then hits a big hickory behind it and splits it right down the middle. But it's all picked up, it's all tidied up. This is the end of Big Boy Toys in the Woods, except I was exiting, taking these logs up to the sawmill, and realized that there is another week's worth of work just sitting over here. Good Lord. Same windstorm. That is a 15-foot root ball. And that's on a huge oak. So, not today. But that's, so I would say that is 4 feet diameter. Holding the camera at shoulder height. It's amazing. And on its way down, it flattens everything. So that'll be another day, but that'll be more than a day, and I cannot saw that size of log, so I need to cut that log and take it somewhere and sell it. If people told the truth, then red oak is worth $3 a board foot. If it's veneer grade, $5-6 a board foot. Each of those logs, and there would be two 216s. The first one would be veneer grade and would have 1,000 board feet in it, so 5,000 board feet of lumber. The second one would be second grade. That would only be worth about $2, so another 2,000. That would be $7,000 of red oak. However, when you come to take it to the sawmill, I bet you I'd be lucky to get $500. And that's after 2 days worth of work to extract it, and then of course ferrying it over there myself. But that's another day, and this is the end of the video. I love these woods. Sometime soon, i.e. the next 100 years, this will be a beech forest. Things are transitioning around here. Every young tree is a beech. I do not see another young tree that is not a beech. And I love beech forest, but I won't see it in my lifetime. But we do have some spectacular beech. It used to be that poplars would take off and block out everything. But of late, what was a poplar infestation of an open field 30 years ago is now dying back, and the beech are taking over. Very cool, but end of video.